fucking come on!
Finally, that Premier League badge in the fucking background is no longer the absolute cock tease that it once was. That fucking badge was a constant reminder of everything that I've been missing out on as a Newcastle fan. But not anymore, as I'm sure you've heard, Newcastle United are not just promoted back up into the Premier League, but we're also champions of the fucking championship. And to be totally honest with you, it was actually pretty easy. Like, I know any Newcastle fan at the start of the season that said we'd go on and walk the league was clearly joking, but yeah, it turns out it's pretty fucking easy to win the championship. We go straight back up at the first time of asking. We do it as champions, just like we did a few years ago. I mean, like, seriously. Like, the championship is a piece of fucking cake. Okay, now let's be honest for a second. I'm fucking ecstatic that Newcastle United are back up into the championship, and I'll be totally honest, we have been okay this season. We have not been at our best. I think every Newcastle fan can agree with me. I don't speak for every Newcastle fan, obviously, but I reckon we've not been at our best. I think if we did, we really would have been able to do a lot better than we have, and it wouldn't have gone down to the last day. By the way, credit to Brighton. I'm actually really happy that they're going up with us, but we're going to have to talk about them just a little bit later. We've been okay. We've done enough. It's gone down to the last day. We've got our shit together in the last few games, and we've been able, after being 7 points down with 3 games left to go, Brighton were that far ahead, and we've somehow managed to beat them. I have no idea how this happened. Anyway, I've got 3 topics I want to talk about and I want to go over. The first one is obviously the Newcastle United promotion back up into the Premier League. The second is the relegation of Sunderland Football Club. So happy about that. And the third is, of course, Brighton, unfortunately for them, bottling the title. So then, Newcastle United being promoted back to the Premier League. Now, I'm obviously very, very happy about this, hence why I'm making a video. Now, first off, let me just tell you how shit it is to be a fan of a club that plays in the championship. Not a championship fan, but just a club that has to put up with that fucking shithole that is the championship. I know we live outside of the UK, so it's slightly different for me, but I think there's a fair bit of common ground here. For example, the fact that Newcastle games, especially in Australia, just never ever got fucking broadcasted. So I might get up at 4 AM in the morning and expect Newcastle United, it might be a big game in the championship, to just be on the telly. But no, beIN Sports Australia is like, nah, we're going to play Norwich City versus fucking Barnsley. Yeah, no, that happened constantly. I know it's the same over in the UK because there's only a select amount of championship games that get broadcasted and you're not able to watch them all live. Sometimes you have to put up with fucking radio or a shitty fucking periscope from some bloke in the Gallagher end. Secondly, can we just talk about the quality of football in the championship? I have watched probably more championship football than I have in the Premier League, and that's not even a stretch. I'm genuinely serious when I say that, and I've just got to tell you, the quality of football in the championship, it's so... Like, there's a rare team. There are some rare teams, fair play, maybe like, I don't know, Fulham toward the end of the season now, even Brighton, to be fair. Sometimes Newcastle when we get it together and we're playing Rafa ball, but honestly, the fucking standard. It's just such rough and tumble, long ball, never being able to string together 2 or 3 passes in a row, utter fucking garbage. I had a moment where I was watching the El Clasico, that incredible game that finished 3-2, Lionel Messi in the last minute scoring the goal, and the quality of football, and just watching that, and then being like, I've been watching Jack Colback like all season. Like, what have I been missing out on? It's so depressing, and I'm so happy. Thank you, Newcastle United, for going straight out of that shithole. I'm serious, man. It's a bit of a disgrace that we went down there in the first place, but you know what? It might actually, in the end, be one of the best things that's ever happened to the club, because who knows? Would Rafa Benitez be at the club right now if Steve McLaren wasn't an absolute garbage, useless fucking cunt of a manager who managed to get himself sacked, what, 3 times in 3 years or something? I have no idea what, but it's just, ugh. If we were not on the verge of being relegated, would Steve McLaren have been sacked and would Rafa Benitez have come in? I don't think he would have. I think McLaren would have somehow justified his way to a second season. We might have gone down then. Who knows who we would have been stuck with after that, but I don't know, man. It might end up being a bit of a blessing in disguise. We had to battle it out in the championship for one. Rafa seems like he's happy. I know there might be a few clubs that could be trying to lure him across, but I don't know, man. I feel like he said something in in an interview about he wanted to be at the club for 10 more years, and I'm not even bullshitting. I'll see if I can put the quote up here somewhere. But if that's the case, then I think if we can battle through one season in the championship to have Rafa Benitez and the Rafalution continue, then fuck yes, it'll be worth it. But yeah, Matt Ritchie, fucking sensational player. You know the thing I like about Matt Ritchie is last season, part of the reason that we got relegated was too many of our players were just weak-minded, just soft, not good enough, weren't really up for the fight. Do you know what I like about Matt Ritchie? He's got balls, okay? And I like balls. He's a fucking fighter, he toughs it out, he's an absolute legend, and I'm so happy that we have a player of his caliber and his, not just that, but his attitude at our club, honestly. If we could have 11 Matt Ritchies, I'm not saying that, but I'm thinking it. Except I just said it out loud. Okay, whatever. As far as transfers for the next season go, I really don't know if we're linked with anybody, to be fair, but I trust in Rafa Benitez. He bought so many fucking players in last season. No one in January, but just so many at the start of last season. And I don't know, I kind of feel like it partially was inevitable that a few of those would have ended up kicking on and being sensational. And some, let's be honest, have not been so great. I think I'm looking at you, Diame. And also guys like Jesus Gamez, but I'm not even going to have a go at him because poor cunt couldn't even get a fucking game. But I am dead set fucking keen for the Premier League to get started up next season again now that Newcastle United is back into it. Hopefully what everyone is saying about us, that we're just going to get relegated straight away again. Hopefully that does not end up being the case. And I don't think that we're going to do anything incredible. I don't think we'll finish in the top 10 or anything like that. But hopefully we can fight it out, get our feet, planted in the Premier League, and then hopefully build from there. Now though, on to another team that we need to talk about very quickly, and it's the Sunderland Football Club. David fucking Moyes and co. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you hadn't heard the news, they are going to be taking our fucking spot. Now, I don't want to speak too long about Sunderland because obviously, like, who gives a fuck about Sunderland? You don't want to hear me talk about Sunderland for the next fucking 5 minutes, so I'm going to try to be quick. But let's be honest here. I've never seen, and I'm sure that you can agree with me, I've never seen a collective group of football fans so happy to see a club go down. Because let's face it, who the fuck cares about Sunderland? Constant shite fucking football, and they've been able to do the Great Escape for the last 3 or 4 seasons in a row. Well, now it's not going to fucking happen for them, and they are finishing rock bottom of the Premier League. Some Sunderland fans watching the video may go, oh, it's because Newcastle isn't in the league to get their 6 points from. Well, let me just take a quick look at the table. So just add those 6 points to Sunderland's total and yep, still going down. But it is so good to see that what goes around comes around, especially in the case of Sunderland, because let's face it, karma is only a bitch if you are. They were singing and dancing in the aisles at the Stadium of Shite when they found out Newcastle United went down. Fast forward a year and, oh, would you take a look at this? Now, I know I'm not based in Newcastle. I know this is not like a local rivalry for me. I don't have to worry about friends, family, or work colleagues getting stuck in my ear if Sunderland were to pull off a win against Newcastle. But this is the thing. Being on Twitter and being one of the more prominent Newcastle fans on Twitter, I'm not saying I'm the biggest, not saying anything like that, but I'm definitely up there, and I think that's a fair enough statement. I've had to fucking cop it from Sunderland fans on Twitter constantly, like a fucking barrage, every single time they got a win over us for the last couple of years now. And I'd never really have anything to come back at them with. And that's the fucking worst part. Newcastle United giving me fuck all to work with. But finally now, after so many years, I can say, Sunderland, enjoy Burton Albion away. Actually, Burton Albion might be a bit too good for you cunts. So how about enjoy Fleetwood Town away? Fucking cop this, you cunts. You are not coming back up to the Premier League anytime soon. You have a shoddy manager, you have a shitload of debt, and you, my friends, are fucking down for the count. Nobody is going to miss Sunderland. Fucking cop it. See you later. And now for the final part of this video, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, I'll be honest with you, okay? Like I said at the start of this video, I was unable to watch Newcastle United beat Barnsley 3-0 on the last day of the season because being fucking sports. They only gave me 3 games to watch, 2 relegation battles, and then Brighton versus Villa. So I couldn't watch Newcastle United beat Barnsley 3-0. I couldn't even watch them celebrate, which fucking sucked. I was stuck watching Brighton versus Villa. And it was a weird feeling, I've got to be totally honest with you. Watching Aston Villa, we've got this weird, fake, stupid, dumb fucking rivalry, which has basically come down. Let's face it, it's a thing. If you deny it, you seriously, it's a thing. The two clubs just shouldn't have anything going at all, but because of scheduling over the last couple of years and certain very important fixtures falling on certain dates, Newcastle versus Villa, we've had this weird fucking thing happen out of nowhere. We had Sob on the Tyne, we had Sob on the Tyne Part 2, Villa being absolutely obsessed with us out of nowhere for like the last couple of months, and then of course, Henry Lansbury's own goal at St. James a couple of months ago, which by the way, was fucking sensational. But I would sit there hoping Aston Villa would score a goal against Brighton, and it was a weird feeling. I'm just going to be honest with you. I know the whole thing just felt stupid, like I shouldn't have any regret in wanting Villa to score, honestly, but it just felt weird. Like, imagine if Lansbury scored a screamer from 30 yards out, and the guy that all Newcastle United fans fucking despise, and I think pretty comfortably in saying that. Imagine if he scored a worldie from 30 yards out and I went into raptures because Henry Lansbury scored a goal. Like, it just doesn't compute. But I was sitting there twiddling my thumbs thinking that Villa were going to absolutely fuck it up for us yet again, and I had zero confidence in them. But to be fair, that first half was definitely way more of Villa than it was of Brighton. I think Villa were definitely the better team for the majority of the game, but unfortunately, Aston Villa had to go and be Aston Villa. Nathan Baker just completely bottles or misjudges the ball. It goes right on past him. I think it was either Murray or someone else from Brighton that just went right on by. Baker almost sort of, it just clips the back heel of the striker that's thrown on goal. Although, looking at it on the replay, I'm not even sure if it was a penalty. There may have been minimal contact, but really, it was weird. I don't even think that, I'm starting to think the more and more I saw it that it was a dive, but that may be me being biased. Anyway, Brighton get a penalty after fucking doing almost nothing throughout the entire game. It was seriously against the run of play. They were absolutely terrible, Brighton, for the last couple of games now. And yeah, unfortunately got a penalty against the run of play, converted it, Murray 1-0, and only 30 minutes away from the title. But then, after going down to 10 men, Aston Villa, they keep on pushing, and in the 89th minute, up steps the king of Tenerife, Jack Grealish. He fires a shot at goal from outside of the box. It's headed pretty much straight to David, the best keeper in the league, Stockdale. You think he's going to get it covered. You think he's probably going to take a pretty simple chest mark, but no, it somehow gets past him. Brighton go down to 1-1 in the last few minutes of the game. Stoppage time goes on. They can't find a second, and Newcastle United are crowned as the champions of the championship. You already know I was fucking ecstatic, but we're not talking about me now. We're not talking about Newcastle. Let's talk about Brighton. How the fuck did they not see through that title? They were 7 points up with 3 games to go, and they did not win the title. Fucking hell. I know that Brighton have a history recently in the championship of bottling it in some way, whether that be making playoffs, making just automatic promotion or something, but it had to happen. In some way, we had to get the annual Brighton bottle. Fair play to them, they've already wrapped up automatic promotion, and despite the jokes, I'm genuinely happy that they're going up into the Premier League. You know, not because I like them as a club or anything, but they've got a decent stadium. I'm happy it's in FIFA. It's because of Brighton and Hove Albion that I still somewhat think that Spurs, even after losing to West Ham, may still have a shot at winning the title. Because fuck, if Brighton can do it, maybe Chelsea can do it. And if fucking Brighton bottle the title, and Chelsea bottle the title as well, then Joe Weller's going to be on fucking suicide watch, like, honestly. And then you've got the fucking legend that is Isaac Hayden, one of the best young players and one of the best signings that Newcastle made this season. He's going to be a fantastic fucking player for us, hopefully in the future. He comes out with the most fantastic rustle. What an absolute fucking legend. Oh my God. I like him. I like him a lot. But the main reason I was so happy that Newcastle United ended up winning the title and Brighton bottled it against Villa was because I could get to post this incredible Ben Spurs 21 video.
You're the biggest fucking bottlers on planet Earth!
I want that video to last a good couple of years, okay? That needs a good run. That is a sensational fucking video. I want to see that posted to Arsenal's Twitter every second or third week, honestly. If Chelsea managed to bottle the unbottleable, I want to see that fucking just thread after thread after thread. But before I let you go though, I'll really quickly mention that I'm keen to do a few more of these types of videos talking about actual football. Obviously, I did the reactions back in the day. I might bring those back as well now that, you know, we're not going to be playing against absolute just shithouse teams. Like, let's face it, who the fuck was going to care about Newcastle United versus Rotherham reaction? No one. No neutral in their right mind gives a shit. Now that we're back in the Prem and we're playing some of the bigger clubs and some of the top teams again, I think that hopefully I might bring those back. I'm not saying every single game will be a reaction, but hopefully quite a fair few. Because let's face it as well, I do like doing reactions, but if it's not Newcastle, it doesn't really feel like it's the best, it's me at my best, if you know. If it's just, I don't know, Bayern versus Dortmund, like, really, I'm not invested. I don't feel invested, so it's just not as good a watch. So the reactions will be coming back. Hopefully more videos like this. Let me know what you want. Let me know if you've enjoyed. And yeah, I reckon that'll probably do it for me. Newcastle United promoted, Sunderland going down, Brighton bottle it. Oh, it's just a glorious day. Until next time, guys, my name's MasterBucks. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to watch more videos, you can click on this one up here. And yeah, that will do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. My name's MasterBucks. Come on, fucking Newcastle. I'll see you in the Premier League next season, and have a good one.